Hello, Daily Drafters. Today is Wednesday, November 17th, and thanks for joining me for today's Daily Draft. We will be continuing our exploration of Innistrad Crimson Vow today, hoping to parse out some of the better archetypes in the format. So far, we have seen a lot of blue on the other side of the battlefield, and not a lot of rares on our side. So let's see if we lucked out with Bloodveil Purveyor, 4 mana 5/6 flying trample. Whenever they cast a spell, they get a blood token. Whenever it attacks, it gets +1/+0 for each until end of turn for each blood token they control. Seems pretty good. There's a little bit of a downside there, but look, it's a 4 mana 5/6 flying trample. If they can't do something about that, they're just going to die. So, yeah, I think we definitely go with Bloodveil Purveyor here. If this weren't in the pack, commons look a little bit underwhelming here, honestly. Maybe Diregraph Scavenger being the best of them. Griff Rider being a nice little flying aggressive card. Infestation Expert, fine. Crawling Infestation, been a bit underwhelmed, but maybe this goes a little bit more in blue-green. But we're going to go ahead and take Bloodveil Purveyor here. Or Bloodvial Purveyor here. And then get past a premium removal spell in black that we will also take. So decent little start to the draft here. We got a nice rare followed by a good removal spell. Let's see, if this were in the pack, another Scavenger. So we might be hooking up the people in our left in black, which may not be good for pack 2, but we can't really think about that when taking these two cards. These are just the best cards in the pack here. I've liked Blood Petal Celebrant so far. I've liked Apprenticed Sharpshooter as well. Scattered Thoughts being a really good card draw spell in blue, but it's the only blue card in this pack. We'll take Visionary. Not sure if that necessarily has a home. It seems like an objectively powerful card, but don't know if it has a home here. Cloaked Cadet being very good in green-white humans. That's a reason to get into green-white humans if you need one. So let's go ahead and stay black here with Parasitic Grasp. And then follow it up. So Screaming Swarm is a very potent card. So 6 mana 4/4 flyer, and whenever you attack with one or more creatures, target player mills that many cards. So, I mean, you can just, if you have multiple flyers, you can mill them each turn, even if the flyers bounce off of other creatures. And then you can also recur this thing. You can really mill them out from almost nowhere with that card. So it's very good. Let's see if anything overtakes it. So Archghoul of Thraben looks like a blue-black card as well. Desperate Farmer. Lifelinker, Doomed Dissenter being good in the exploit deck. So there's a lot of, and Skywarp Scob as well. There is a lot of blue-black in this pack. It's almost exclusively blue-black. I'm going to go ahead and take the Screaming Swarm in the hope that I can wheel any of these, really any of these, like 6 or 7 cards here. And we'll take the Screaming Swarm. All right. So staying on the blue-black path here, I think Lantern Bearer is an excellent card in blue-black, specifically because of exploit. So if we take Lantern Bearer, we'll be looking for exploit cards going forward. Cruel Witness is okay as well. We don't know how our deck is going to look going forward as far as non-creature count. So it might be a little early to consider taking Cruel Witness, although I would probably play one if it wheeled here. Undying Malice, a trick that's just replaceable. And Wretched Throng, if there was nothing else here, I'd take it and speculate to see if we can get 3 or 4 of them. But we'll go ahead and take the Lantern Bearer and look out for some exploit as it comes by here. So as far as blue and black goes, we have Syncopate, Wanderlight Spirit, Blood Fountain, and Vampire's Kiss. I haven't been impressed with Wanderlight Spirit, actually. I feel like it's much more of just a sideboard card in best of 3, because if this is your first play in a game and they're curving out with red-green, you're just going to die. I think we can go ahead and take a Syncopate. Playing one Syncopate is fine. We'll look out for other instants to make this better so we can do something with our mana if they don't play into it. But we'll just go ahead and take our first Syncopate here. And things drying up pretty quickly. We did see where we were on the lookout for exploit, which here's an exploit card. However, it's the only blue or black card in the pack. Cartographer's Survey is not great. Spiked Ripsaw, we had one in the deck and never saw it, so we don't know if it's particularly great yet. I have a feeling it's a pretty good card. Evolving Wild's always good. Spore Crawler good. So there's some good cards in this pack, but I'm going to see if I can continue to cut black and or blue here and hope that the next pack has more goodies for us, because this might be concerning if this next pack doesn't have blue or black. So it looks like it does. Another Syncopate. I think if we wanted another Syncopate, we can get one later. So we can go ahead and take our first Courier Bat here. Doesn't look like we have... we do have Parasitic Grasp to gain life. It's our only life gain so far. Black comes with a little bit of incidental. Maybe if we wheel some of those Diagraph 4-mana 2/3 Death Touchers, that could be a really good combo with Courier Bat. Evolving Wild is also just a good pickup here. But let's take Courier Bat and stay down blue-black. None of these cards are particularly exciting. Undying Malice, Aim for the Head. I mean, this is just a mind rot, essentially. And sometimes you get lucky with exiling a zombie. I think we'll go ahead and take this, but we're hoping not to play it. So here's our first pack. The Entomber came back as well as the Recluse. So the 2/3 Death Toucher didn't come back, which is kind of expected. It's a good card, and I'd love to play 2 or 3 even in this deck. But we'll go ahead and take the Entomber here. So we can... it's already a combo with our Lantern Bearer. That being probably the only thing so far. But we'll see if we can continue along this path here. Scattered Thought's really good card draw spell. It's good to see this wheeling. That is good news for us. So we'll go ahead and take Scattered Thoughts. And here we go. Here was the pack with all the blue-black cards, and all of them are playable, which is really good. So we don't have a ton of Exploit, which is what Doom Descender really needs. Skywarp Skob is a great card, especially if we have a lot of creatures. Chill of the Grave, really good in this deck. I don't know exactly what I think I'm going to go ahead with Skyward Skob, but I could see Chill of the Grave being the right pick here. So I'm not exactly sure what's good there. We'll go ahead and take the worst card to cut, so I let other people have an option. And then we'll do that. So after pack 1, we have a decent blue-black deck here. Creature count at 7, that's fine. So I think we continue down that path. And let's see if this black rare does anything. So 2-mana 2/1 flyer, already great. And whenever it or another non-token creature you control dies, create a blood token. Great. Whenever you create a blood token, if you control 5 or more, transform it. I don't know if we're going to get up to that 5 or more count, but a 2-mana 2/1 flyer that dies to create a blood token, I don't think we can really pass that up. Let's see, are we looking for anything on the wheel here? Desperate Farmer, Courier Bat, Groom's Finery, Syncopate, maybe Syncopate Wields. Flame Blessed Bolt probably being the best card in the pack. Maybe that or Cloak Cadet other than the Bloodcaster, but we'll go ahead and stay down the black path. All right, Panic Bot. Okay, so the rare's gone in this pack. Let's see. I think Repository Skob is a great card. It has Exploit, works with our Lantern Bearer, and if we can get a Doom Descenter, maybe we wheel this one because we wheeled the other one. Let's see. So instant or sorceries. We have 3 instants right now. Not bad. And we'll probably pick up a few more as we go. So I think Repository Skob's a great pickup here. We're going to need to look for Exploit fodder if we keep finding these Exploit cards. Speaking of fodder, I don't think this is the deck for Catapult fodder. I mean, as we look, we have the Entomber, Skywarp Skob, Screaming Swarm, Purveyor, but these aren't creatures we necessarily want to be sacrificing to this effect. So without that, we have Chill of the Grave, which I think is going to be my pick. Boarded Window is a really interesting decision here. This can really only go in control decks, and I'm not necessarily thinking we're looking to be control yet. I think our plan to win is going to be winning through flyers here. Get a couple of early creatures down to trade, find some more removal spells, tap things down, and kill them with flyers. So I think we're going to go with Chill of the Grave, but Boarded Window could be an interesting pick there. All right, we need removal, so we'll take Gifts of Fangs. It'd be unfortunate if we go against a vampire deck, but it's basically just dead weight with upside. Do we have any vampires? 2 vampires already, so that's interesting. One of them being Purveyor, and the other one probably being, yep, our other rare. So we'll go ahead and take Gift of Fangs, Chill of the Grave. If this can wheel, that'd be great. I'll take Evolving Wilds as well. Cradle of Safety. I'm not a huge fan of this card. However, with cards like Bloodveil Surveyor and Bloodcaster here, Cradle of Safety could go up in value, but currently I don't think I'd play one. So let's go ahead and take the removal spell here. So we have Scob, Stitched Assistant, and Wanderlight Spirit. So this would be our third exploit card, but how many cards are we actually looking to exploit? Lantern Bearer, we could probably exploit the Entomber for value if we needed to later in the game. That's about it. So we're going to need to be on the lookout for some Doom Dissenters if we do that too. We already have one Scob here, so I'm going to go ahead and take the lower curve card. We're a little light in 3 drops as well. Not a huge fan of Wanderlight Spirit, so let's take the Assistant. Okay, so black looks to be drying up pretty quickly here. Let's see, so this would be a bounce spell that could also save one of your own creatures. Binding Geist, 3 mana, 3/1, a little bit more aggressive, does disturb, and then Serpentine Ambush, not a card I'm looking to play. So I'll go ahead and take Binding Geist. Just a decent creature here. The backside is nothing outstanding, but it's pure upside on a 3 mana, 3/1 that can trade with something or be a little bit aggressive if we need it to. So let's take the Geist here. Alright, so we have Siphon Essence, counter target creature, or planeswalker spell. We were saying we were looking for things to go with Scattered Thoughts to hold up at instant speed in case... what was the other card? Yeah, with Scattered Thoughts. However, this is kind of the combo. If we don't counter something, we can hold up Scattered Thoughts. Wanderlight Spirit, not a big fan. Grisly Ritual, little bit too clunky for our deck, I think. So we'll go ahead and take Siphon Essence. And we're still seeing some good blue and black cards here, which is good. So, Undying Malice, Fear of Death, not cards I want to play. Cruel Witness, we have 5 instants for this card. It's also just a 4 mana 3/3 flyer. And Courier Bat. I haven't seen much more than just a Parasitic Grasp as far as life gain goes. So we'll go ahead and take Cruel Witness. Again, flying being what I think will be our path to victory here. Let's just go ahead and take a 3 mana 2/2 flyer. This is pick 9. I don't remember if the Doom Dissenter was our first pack or our second pack, but I'd still love to get 1 or 2 Doom Dissenters. Here it is. All right, perfectly on time. 4 of the 5 cards in this pack are blue-black, but this was also the pack that had like 9 blue or black cards when we did. So with 3 exploit creatures and 1 Doom Dissenter already and the Lantern Bearer, I think we have a nice little exploit package. And here we go, every single card here being in our colors again. So I think we're in the right colors here. I don't think Boarded Windows for us. I'm just going to take a second Syncopate. I don't know if I'm going to play it here. I'll cut blue. I don't think I want to play that card either. I'll keep Wanderlight Spirit in the main for now, but we'll see. So, took our second Syncopate. I don't think we necessarily want to consider playing that, but we'll see here. Alright, pack 3, we have Undead Butler. So if we care about Graveyard, it mills 3 cards, and then when it dies, we can exile it to return target creature. So this is great exploit fodder as well. Aim for the Head, I don't think we need a third Syncopate. Blood Crazed, Socialite. We have a couple of ways to make blood tokens, but not a lot. I think I would play this card if it wheeled, but I want to go ahead and take the Undead Butler here, because it's another really good exploit target for our 3 exploit creatures. Inspired Idea. 3 mana, draw 3, and then your maximum hand size is reduced by 3, or 5 mana, draw 3. It's hard to evaluate. Let's see if there's anything else that can push us over. So Dreadlight Monstrosity, 6 mana, 5/5. Gluttonous Guest. I think we need to just take another removal spell. We're a little light on removal in this deck. We have 1 Gift of Fangs and a Parasitic Grasp. So this Gift of Fangs can go a long way in helping us get to our late game flyers here. Maybe Inspired Idea is good, but it's not interactive. I need cards that interact. So we're going to go ahead and take Gift of Fangs here. Alright, so here we have Innocent Traveler. We have Binding Geist, Aim for the Head, and Spirit. So Spirit, I don't think we're going to have a lot of enchantments. Let's see. So we have 2 enchantments in the deck right now, and 1 that disturbs into an enchantment. We're not really looking to be aggressive with this card. I think this reading as 2 mana 3/3 defender is totally fine in our deck. So I think that's what we're going to take, again, to help us get to our late game flyers. So far in this format, I've lost to flyers a lot, so I think just having keyword flying is going to be important in this format. So we'll take the spirit here. Wow, okay. There's a lot of good cards for us here. Cobbled Lancer, decent. I think we just need more removal. We'll take Parasitic Grass. Repository Scob, I would love to play another one. Reckless Bloodseeker. We don't have a ton of ways to gain life, so I don't think that would be at its best here. I might play a Grisly Ritual if one came back to us, but we're already looking at a couple cuts here, so we'll figure that out. But we're definitely going to take Parasitic Grass, being the best removal spell in the pack here. So here we have Socialite or Monstrosity. I think we'll go ahead and take the Socialite. It's a 3/3 menace. We get a blood token when it enters, which is good. And whenever it attacks, we can sacrifice one to give it +2/+2 until end of turn. So we can get one really good attack in with this if we really want to. So we'll go ahead and take that. Another Courier Bat. I don't know if I'd play 3 with the lack of life gain that we have, but I don't think, well, don't want Ambush. Maybe the Retrieval would be good. It's just more interaction here. And I don't know if I want 3 bats. We don't have a lot of life gain, so they're basically just 3 mana 2/2 flyers. So let's just take our first bounce spell here. I don't know if we'll play it, but let's take it. Here we go again. All right, so Stitch Desistant, another exploit card, or Chill of the Grave. I like both. We're going to have a lot of zombies. This is a nice little cantrip that freezes their creatures down, helps us get to the late game. But I think the exploit on this is going to be too good. We have Lantern Bearer, Entomber, Doom Dissenter, Undead Butler. So we have at least 4 exploit targets that are going to be pretty good here. So we'll go ahead with that. Pointed Discussion, you draw 2, lose 2, then create a blood token. I don't know if I'd play it. Undying Malice, not something I'm prioritizing. We'll take Pointed Discussion, but I don't know if it's something that's going to make the main deck here. We already have 2 Syncopates. Don't even know if I want to play the second. We have an Aim for the Head. Don't even know if I want to play the first. I'll just take the second one of these. Don't care about Ambush. Maybe we play the Monstrosity? I'm not even sure here. So, okay, so Grisly Ritual did come back. I think we can go ahead and consider playing one of those, because we're going to be into the late game a lot more often than many other decks here. So here we are deck building. So with this we would need, wow, so we need 8 cuts here. Let's go ahead and sort. We've got 20 creatures. Take a look at our non-creature spells. These are usually the easiest spots to make cuts. Don't think we need Pointed Discussion. All these other cards are kind of fine. So we do have a Cruel Witness that right now has 10 targets, which is great. The Scob needs creatures in the graveyard. We're exploiting a lot over here. Let's see. Dreadlight and Monstrosity. So we've got Flying, 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 Menace, Flying, Flying, Flying. So I think we know how we're going to be winning these games here. So I don't think Dreadlight and Monstrosity fits into that plan. Let's take a look over here. I'm not sure the Entomber really does much in this deck. It's kind of exploit fodder, but I don't think we want to be playing a 2-mana card just to sacrifice it. It's a little bit defensive, which is fine to help us get to our flyers. But we have Spirit to help us with that. We have a 2-mana 2/2 here. We have a couple other cards that can help us get there. Binding Guy, Stitch Assistant. Wanderlight Spirit can be on the chopping block here. Maybe a Courier Bat. If we think we're going to be aggressive flying, we can play this card. And maybe we can start this in the sideboard, and if we realize that we're just going to be attacking with flyers, we can just put that in after a game or two. I wonder if the Socialite is really what we want to be doing here. We've got just a bunch of flyers. Once we get to this point in the game, I think we just need to be dropping flyer after flyer. So I'm going to go ahead. This may be wrong to cut the Socialite, but again, I think our deck needs to have a plan here. So 3 more cuts. Let's look down here. How many instants? So we have 7 instants. So Siphon Essence is decent with that amount of instants. Alchemist Retrieval. I don't think that... I think we have enough interaction here to not need an Alchemist Retrieval. So 2 more cuts. We're down to 16 creatures, which is fine. Let's see here. As far as the rest of these non-creature spells, I think I want to play all of them. Maybe we could consider cutting Syncopate. And because we have Siphon Essence, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now we're down to 5 instants, 1 sorcery. So our last cut here, how much life gain do we have, if at any? So we have 2 Parasitic Grasp, and that's it. Yeah, so with that being it, and that being a 6 mana combo with Courier Bat, I think we'll cut 1 Courier Bat. All right, so I think this will be the deck here. And we'll go ahead and add a couple lands. 17 looks good. Let's go with... So we have a lot of really early black here, so we'll go 9 black, 8 blue. And that'll be the deck. Let's get on in there to round 1. All right, so we're on the draw here. We can't cast 3 of our cards. 1 is a counter spell and 1 is a 6-drop. So even if we draw a land, we're just waiting until their turn 4 to be able to play anything. I don't think we can keep this. This looks a little better here, so let's go ahead and keep... I think we'll go ahead and bottom Scattered Thoughts. Worst case, we have 3 mana 3/2s that can block if we don't draw anything before then, and we have a good removal spell if we need it. So we'll go ahead and keep this. Again, another blue deck. Blue-black mirror. That was a great draw here, so this actually gives us something to get on the board with, unless they have a Syncopate, which I think they do, so that's unfortunate. Yep, there it is. Courier Bat. Okay. So this is a zombie, so that makes our Chill of the Grave better for next turn. So let's go ahead and play this. We don't need to exploit it to itself, so we'll decline. Theoretically, we have enough flyers in our deck to help stabilize against a Courier Bat, but we'll see if any of those come into our hands. So this is obvious counterspell mana here, so let's go ahead and see if they want to do anything about the assistant. Yeah, there you go. So Chill of the Grave that. Sure. Next to combat, can't do anything. I know it's 2 of our exploit targets, but we need to just get on the board here. We could hold up Chill of the Grave for their Courier Bat, but I'd rather just get on the board. So next turn we can hold up both of these, assuming they don't kill both of our assistants here. Which would be some good tempo for us. And they're just going to go ahead and draw 3 cards. Okay. Alright, so let's get in there with our assistant. So... Yeah. think we'll let them attack with the bat so that we can tap down whatever they play afterward, assuming it's a ground creature. And then we can get in for 6 next turn. And we can also hold up removal if we really need to here. So that's an unfortunate play, because that lines up really well against both of our spells in hand. So they could have a post-combat creature. Am I willing to take 2 for that? I could. They're probably going to chump with Lantern Bearer here. And when they go to place the Flying Aura on something, I can Parasitic Grasp it. So let's go ahead and take 2 and see if they play a post-combat ground creature. They don't do anything. They're going to trade with it? Oh, wow. Okay. I see, I see. So they currently have no creatures in the yard, so they want to be trading their creatures to make this a good card here. So let's go ahead and tap down the bat. Draw Butler, we'll let that resolve. I think they're going to be chumping with the bearer. I think that's okay. So let's go ahead and play Cruel Witness, hold up, destroy a human, or could play the Butler and the Witness. So let's get in there. They'll probably be chumping as expected. We'll play Butler and Witness, I think. So let's go ahead. Yeah, let's play Cruel Witness and Butler. And here come our flyers. Got rid of our other Grasp and 2 lands. So the Dollhouse of Horrors, a little slow, but again, they have 1 card. So here we go. Let's see. Alright. It's 3 mana, 3/2 with upside here. So are they gonna exile their Lantern Bearer? They're not. Is this a human? It's not a human, so we would need to cleave this, which means we couldn't cast our Bloodcaster. So if we go ahead and try to Parasitic Grasp this, we can get in for theoretically 10. But then we can't cast our Bloodcaster. We could cast the Bloodcaster, attack with all, or attack with these 3, they trade, and we get a blood token out of the deal. So they have 4 mana. I think they want to be doing something here. They can make a 1/1. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and offer the trade, and if they try to give something -X/-X or something, we can go ahead and Parasitic Grasp the Archghoul if needed. Maybe they're going to tap something down again. Yeah, they'll go ahead and tap something down. Okay. Sure. So you go to combat. So they have another... Let's see here. I think we'll go ahead and offer the trade here. They're very likely to just block and exile it with Dollhouse. But I think we need the Grasp to help our flyers get through. So we can Grasp the bat and start getting in for 5, assuming they don't have flyers. Yeah, so that was expected. Hopefully they don't hit. And they don't. So let's go ahead and play the Bloodcaster. Could have played that pre-combat for the blood token, but I think I'd rather hold up Grasp during combat in case they try to do anything interesting. Just missing out on that 1 blood token, I think that's fine. So they're likely going to exile their other card. Okay, so they're just going to bounce our flyer. Interesting. They have their own Cruel Witness, so that's a Grasp target here. But now this Dollhouse could start taking over the game if we don't try to close it out pretty quickly here. Bit aggressive on the attack there. Swamp wouldn't be an awful draw. That would allow us to cast both cards in hand. And a Stitched Assistant. They don't sacrifice. Okay, well, Island not being a good draw. So I think we do need to grasp the Witness, but I don't know if we need to do it right now. Because they currently only have one creature in the yard, and it's a card they probably want to be casting. So let's just go ahead and cast the Bloodcaster. We'll hold the island because we could be getting a blood token here. And we don't have a target for the grasp, which is unfortunate, but... So next turn they could be attacking us for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the air. Which would make me need to block with the Bloodcaster, I think. And then we'll get a blood token, we can rummage away the island. Yeah. Dollhouse is a really interesting card here. I don't think it's very good against aggro, obviously, but... seeming pretty good against our grindy deck here. So, yeah, so they're going to probably attack for 9 as expected. I think I have to block, otherwise I go to 5 and then I'm basically dead. So let's block here. They'll be able to create another construct. Can you only activate as... yeah, only as a sorcery, so... sure. Oh no, I forgot they have flying and everything too. That's... it's gonna be difficult here. So they have one card in hand. It's likely a land, but I think we have to exploit the Butler to get it because I don't think we have better options here. So let's play the Swamp. We'll go ahead and exploit the Undead Butler, which means we can return a creature. Do we even have any? We do. We have the Assistant and the Bloodcaster. I think we need more flyers, so let's go ahead and exile that. Get the Bloodcaster. Now, do we cast Bloodcaster or do we... let's see, did we get a land? Yeah, we got a land. Or do we hold up Grasp? So currently we have a block on Assistant. We can Parasitic Grasp the other one and take 2. The Bloodcaster allows us to block the Flying Bat. So first I think we need to get in here with this, because this is an obvious attack, because this won't be able to block anything and I'm totally fine trading. So let's see, I doubt they're gonna block here. So do we play Bloodcaster and plan to block? They'll get another construct. They do have lethal in the air, so we're going to have to do something. Still no humans. Yeah, let's go ahead and play Bloodcaster. We'll hold up Parasitic Grasp for next turn. This gives us another blood token, as we're likely going to have to block the bat. Pretty good draw for them. Very good draw for them. Well, I said we were going to be the flying deck, and here we are getting beat down by flyers. So, you know how it goes. They basically cast 4 mana instant speed, draw 3, which is pretty good. So they bend a Cruel Witness, so that's not good news for us. Yeah. Dollhouse, just too much value. So is there any way we can kind of... No, there's not. Let's see. So we block that, and take lethal? Sure. Alright, turns out their rare was better in the matchup than ours, so... Beginning to think this might be a bit of a rare-dominated format. I haven't had a lot of games that were not decided by rares so far, so... Let's see if one of our rares can decide a game. Good curve here. Really good draw for us there. So do we gift a... No, I don't think we need to gift a Fangs this yet, because unless they play a haste creature, it won't be getting a counter. So let's just go ahead and play our Butler and get in there for 1. Got a good target to return with the Butler when it dies. Two, 3 lifelink, so that gets around our Gift of Fangs. So we could play a 2/2 flyer that doesn't do anything else, or we can go ahead and kill the trainee so that they can't train with it. But that leaves us with pretty bad blocks against the Ancestor. I think we need to use this while it's good. Next turn, we have no target for the Scob, which is unfortunate, so we could just play a bat here, but I think we need to use this. Hopefully it's not a vampire. Good, it's not. Yeah, let's go ahead and kill the trainee. And we won't be blocking, so let's just get in there for 1. They'll be gaining 2, but we can't do anything about it. That would have been a better target for our Gift of Fangs, but we couldn't have known that. Okay, so... Chill of the Grave gives us a target for Repository Scob next turn, which I think is important. And it also helps us prevent all this damage from the Shield Basher that's going to be coming in. So I think we need to go ahead and use Chill of the Grave. We're not being very mana efficient this game, but they seem to be pretty aggressive. So we kind of are priced into doing these value things instead of just playing a 3-mana 2/2 that can't block anything on their board anyway. So again, we won't be blocking with this, and we're just going to go ahead and chill the Basher. All right. Let's chill the Shield Basher and see what we can draw. Super expensive removal spell that we can't cast. Okay, so let's take 2 again. Alright, so I think we need to go ahead and exploit with the Scob here. Do we want to sack the Butler to get back this Scob? Or the Lantern Bearer? I think we're going to go ahead and sack the Butler. And return Chill of the Grave. We'll exile Butler. To get back the Scob. So we're getting a lot of value here, but unfortunately we're just kind of getting beaten down and missing land drops. So We do have good blocks this turn. They likely have some sort of interaction, but... Okay, so nothing. We'll just go ahead and miss another land drop. And then, so we can cast Bloodcaster and then chill the Basher again. I think that's what we need to do here. We could Exploit, which would let us scry and draw a card to hit a land drop. But that would be risky if we don't hit. We might be able to consider doing that next turn. So, let's go ahead. I'll keep Lantern Baron back to block the Fleeting Spirit. Let's see if they do anything pre-combat. They don't. So I'll cast Bloodcaster, and then we'll chill of the Grave the Basher again on their turn. Seem to be turning the corner a little bit here, but we need more lands. There's a land, but it's not an island, so... Still no plays, huh? Okay, so... Let's see here. If we exploit with the Stitched Assistant, we'll end up with 2 mana left over, which is not enough to double spell here. But I don't really know what else we're doing is the problem. Is there any way we can gain life? Doesn't look like it. We could play just a 3-mana 2/2 flyer. 3-mana 3/1 disturbs well on this board. So let's play our land. Let's get in with the flyer. I guess we just go ahead and play a 3-mana 3/1. Needing to draw an island here to really unlock our hand, so. And they just, I don't know what they had in hand. They missed land drops, but they weren't seeming to draw anything good, so. It's a bit of an interesting concession, but. So thinking about that Wanderlight Spirit that's in our board, in that game, if we had played it, I don't think it would have been very good, because again, it couldn't have blocked any of their creatures. So we won't be playing Gift of Fangs on 1, we would have a 2-mana 2/2 on 2, and then a bunch of, this card is 2 mana away. This could help us find more blue if we draw a single island, and this is a 6-drop. I don't like mulliganing in Limited, but this is the kind of hand that can really burn you, but, you know, I think it's a keep. So we'll go ahead and play a 2-mana 2/2, and then we can remove an early play from them, and then hope that we draw out of it. Doesn't necessarily count as drawing out of it yet. See if they play an X2 here that's not a zombie, or a vampire that we can kill. They do, and it's a great target. Alright, now we're just 1 mana away from our Purveyor, so let's go ahead and kill the Taxidermist and get in for 2. Okay. A little slow from them, but, you know. And here comes the beginning of the end. Yep, there it is. Might have a combat trick to get rid of our 2/2 here, but no. Well, let's hope we can draw out of it and give ourselves an actual game here. It's a creature, but doesn't do anything on this board. Great. Another dollhouse. when we're stuck on mana here. Okay, well, let's hope they don't remove it. Although with 4 cards in hand, 5 mana, you gotta think they're gonna do something about it. Pacifism would be awful for us, because they would continue to get blood tokens. Let's see if they can remove it here. They can't. And we drew an island. Alright, so I think we have to go ahead and try to get in there with the Purveyor. Okay, so it looks like they do have some sort of trick here, which is unfortunate, but I don't think we could not attack, so. Sure, we'll go to damage. So we can Stitched Assistant our Doomed Dissenter to give us a good board here. Scribes and draws a card. Or we can Scattered Thoughts, end of turn for mana efficiency. I think I'm going to wait to use Scattered Thoughts until our board is already built out a little bit here. So let's go ahead and take action, sacrifice the Dissenter. I don't think we can take the Lantern Bearer because that would use up our whole turn. So we'll go ahead and bin that and draw an island. So that's a great draw there. I think we're turning the corner a bit here, but we gotta try to outrace this dollhouse before it gets out of hand. Kind of like last game. 3 mana 5/5 seems good. It kind of stops our board here. So I think for mana efficiency next turn, we need to just play our Screaming Swarm. They have no more creatures left in the yard. We do have 2 creatures in the yard to draw a card with this, but that's not quite mana efficient. This can attack as a 4/4 flyer. So I think we just go ahead and do that. This dollhouse could really get out of hand for us, but yep, there's a removal spell. I think we just take 3 so that they can't make another construct. So we're gonna have 7 mana. We can do either the Scob or the Witness, or we can do Spirit and Scattered Thoughts. Scob is a good blocker against their construct, which is good. So is the Witness. Scob draws us a card. So, do we have a way in our deck to get the Purveyor back from the yard? I don't think we do. Actually, we do. The Undead Butler. So because this is such a great card, I don't think I want to be exiling it with the Butler. Or with our Scob to draw a card. But this could also help us in the late game. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Screaming Swarm to draw a card here. Which may be incorrect, but I don't want to get rid of the Purveyor with an option to get it back in our deck here. So, no attacks. Right now we have the Scob, which is a great blocker against them here. We can chump the Vanguard if needed. Yeah, none of these We do have great attacks on the backswing now, though. But can we afford to take 5? This will not be able to attack, so we can keep that back. I think we're going to go ahead and just take 5, because we have good attacks on the backswing now. Now that they tapped their 5/5. Looks like they're just going to rummage. Thought about it. So we'll go ahead, play Cruel Wit. Nah, we'll do that post-combat here. So we're going to have 2 blockers. We could chump the Vanguard and block the Slayer, which would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still not enough. And right now we're attacking for 9. They don't have outstanding blocks here unless they want to make trades. So let's go ahead and get in with all of our creatures here. So they're just trying to make trades. That's fine. We'll do that. We'll play Cruel Witness and hold up Scattered Thoughts. If we really need to chump the Vanguard, we can, but I don't necessarily think we even do. Now we lose. Great. It's been fun. Yeah, we just keep getting smashed by rares in this format that we just can't beat. So, not sure what I'm supposed to be doing about that, unfortunately. So they go to 17, we go to 3. We will put that in our graveyard. This and this into our hand. Alright, we got lucky there. It's a human, but it has Ward 2. Okay, so that would mean we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't cast with Cleave, right? Yeah, deal. Oh gosh. Thought it was unconditional. It's not at all. Okay, so if we give this the Gift of Fangs, it becomes a 5/5, and we can actually kill it with grass plus a block, which I think is what we're going to have to do, because otherwise we have no... We can't just let it sit there. So 1, 2, 3. It's not a vampire, is it? Nope. Neither of these are vampires, so we can block it. Although they have 3 flyers now. So we're probably dead anyway, but let's see. These won't be blocking. Let's see, so if they attack with everything, we block here, grasp it, we go up to 6, we block another one, we go down to back to 3. So let's go ahead and attack like this. Catilda and Dollhouse against our grindy deck. Yeah. I think our deck is actually pretty good. It's got a lot of value in it, but, you know, when they play cards like this, we aren't really able to get a lot of value out of this. Also might have just punted that. Although, could we have held up that? So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, we needed to hold up grasp, so didn't matter there. They'll get their clean 2 for 1. Make another card. Get a 3/3. Get 2 3/3s. 3 3/3s. And here we are. Yeah. Yeah, we get it. And we're dead anyway, so let's hope we don't die to another rare next game. Removal seeming exceptionally important in this format. We don't have a lot of it in this deck, and it's only conditional because it only deals either 2 or 3. So if they drop one of their bombs like that and we just can't deal with it, then that's what happens here. Horrible hand, so obvious keep. Perfect. Never didn't have it. Maybe we can ride the Bloodcaster to victory here. Let's see. I never released my finger, so I don't know why it cast, but it seems fine. So next turn we'll have Scattered Thoughts, and then we can start to... Maybe we can bin a creature, draw with Scob. Lines up very well against our Bloodcaster, unfortunately. So let's go ahead... We'll go ahead and hold up Scattered Thoughts here. Okay, we'll see if they can take advantage of that more than just the slight incidental value they get at the upkeep. So 2 into our hand, the rest in the graveyard. So the Gift of Fangs allows our Bloodcaster to start attacking again if we need to. The Stitched Assistant is a great combo with our Butler, and the Grasp deals 3, but that doesn't quite do it there. So I think the Grasp is a better card than the Fangs, but as long as this Sharpshooter is on the board, our Bloodcaster does stone cold nothing. So I think we're going to take Assistant and Fangs for that reason. And we can go ahead and play the Fangs here, which allows our Spirit to attack. We're getting priority for a single black here. I'm not sure exactly what they have. Maybe that card that allows it to return to the battlefield with the 1/1 counter. Seems likely. Play our land, go ahead and let them use that card, I'm sure. That's exactly what it is. So we'll play Butler post-combat. Hopefully we mill a creature that we can return with Stitched Assistant here. Not quite the creature I was hoping for. Thinking real hard about milling or not here. They mill, they are on a 15 turn clock, so very difficult decision. So you play a 3-mana do-nothing enchantment and then decline to mill. That's what they call in the coverage business as an interesting play. So unfortunately, this 2/5 reach kind of doing work on our board here. We have one creature in the yard, so we can't even draw off of Scob. We can exploit the Butler to return Doom Dissenter, but that hardly seems like it's worth it. We can exploit the Bloodcaster, well, or another non-token creature. So every creature that dies gets us a blood token here. So I think for that reason alone, we can go ahead and exploit the Butler. And I don't think I want to return the Dissenter so that we can draw a card with the Scob next turn. And we can loot away this swamp as well with the blood token that we'll get off of the Butler. I like to think awfully hard about every trigger that goes on the stack here. Okay. Sure. It wasn't doing anything anyway except making us blood tokens. It wasn't going to attack. Lantern Bearer. Gosh, this Sharpshooter just makes the Lantern Bearer look awful. However, with this blood token, it's basically free value to leave this on top, because we can discard it and still get the value from it. So I'm going to leave it on top for that reason. We'll go ahead and discard it. Again, declining to do anything with their 3-mana enchantment. So next turn we'll have 7 mana that we can use 5 to play 2/5 flyer and draw a card. At least they tapped their Sharpshooter now, so we don't have to block that. Siphon Essence. Can't quite leave both of those up. So let's go ahead and draw a card here. Repository Scob. We can get back Grasp or Ritual, even Scattered Thoughts if we need to. Sacrificing. Don't have great sacrifice fodder, unfortunately. Maybe the Stitched Assistant. But I'm debating attacking here. I think I might be fine trading that for the Scorpion. So let's see if they want to do that. Sorry, this game is taking so long, folks. They seem to be deep in the tank. So again, I think our blue-black deck is kind of the ideal blue-black deck that we need here. It's got interaction. They're not the best pieces of interaction, but they are interaction. We have card draw, we have 2-for-1s, we have a lot of exploit going on, we've gotten multiple triggers. We have a lot of really good things going on. It's just the 2 games we've lost have been to unbeatable bombs. So at the end of the day, I don't think I'm unexcited about the blue-black archetype here. I think it has a lot of potential. And we are just going to go ahead and hope that they don't have the 4-mana black-green uncommon that makes that a 13/13. Because if they do, I think we're going to lose. We might have to get back Grizzly Ritual to attempt to do something about that. So the Spirit is just acting as a 3/3 blocker right now. It's not really doing anything for us. So in order to get back the Ritual, I think I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice it. Because I think we need protection against some sort of crazy mirror breaker here. Let's go ahead and sacrifice it. Get back the Ritual. We can hold up a creature counter spell and create a blood token as well. We'll leave the Lantern Bearer here. Lantern Bearer on Repository Scob is decent value, but we still can't get through this Sharpshooter. And I don't think it's worth using unconditional removal on the Sharpshooter. I think at this point we can probably start holding our lands because we're going to get 2 blood tokens off of the Ritual as well. What does this even do for you? So from anywhere on your turn. Okay, so maybe they have other ways to mill themselves. We don't care about taking 1. Another Phalanx. Okay, so as long as they don't have the uncommon, these don't matter. So I think we can save our counterspell for that. Another Swamp. So we can get a blood token from this and 2 from these. So let's just go ahead and give this flying. Still getting priority for 1 green, so they might have the Might spell +2/+2 and Trample. So we'll have to keep that into consideration when blocking here. We could play a land and cast the Ritual, but I don't think we need to on this board. So let's just go ahead and pass. Yeah, so the reason they're attacking with this Scorpion every turn for +2/+2 and Trample, I think. Not that we were ever considering double blocking it, but... Again, deep in the tank. Of course, it can't be countered. Okay. What is Nightbound? A 4/4. Whenever enters the battlefield or transforms into that, look at the top 6, reveal a creature. Okay, so I don't know if that's worth Grizzly Ritualing. I think it is, because if we don't... Well, so we do have a Binding Geist here, so we're not going to flip it tonight. They can start putting creature cards onto the battlefield, but they have enough mana for that to really not matter. So the only thing we're scared about this card is if it flips to night. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and play my creature here. this is something I think I'd be willing to trade with Scorpion if they want to offer that trade here. And again, because we have all the blood tokens coming, we're just going to go ahead and keep our land in hand. So +2/+2 and trample doesn't even matter on this Death Toucher, which is the card I'm putting them on in their hand right now. Yeah, they're looking at it, seeing if they want to trade with it. I doubt they do, but we'll go ahead and offer it. Sure. They flip it into night by themselves. Bit unfortunate for us. I mean, we could have ritualed that, but I don't know. I feel like our board is fine right now. I'm worried about them having 2 of the uncommon creatures that make these into 13/13s, because I don't know why you would play this card otherwise. Okay, so that's probably a creature we're going to go ahead and have to counter. So, yeah, because they're going to gain 13 life from a Flourishing Hunter. That's not going to be okay. So they have a 4/4, which we still have good blocks on. We can tap something down here on their turn. We're probably going to attack the Sharpshooter, but we don't have great follow-ups if we're not going to be blocking. So let's go ahead. So what do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, which would leave us with 3. Binding Geist doesn't really do anything on this board right now. It does prevent this from getting the +2/+2 and trample and being effective. So what I'm going to do is for 8 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. We're going to go ahead and make that into a 0/5 that they can really only get up to be a 2/7 if they wanted to. And because we're drawing another card here, I am going to go ahead and play this land. We don't need to attack yet because we're going to be tapping likely the Sharpshooter down, which will give us good attacks next turn for 6. So here comes the big old 6-drop that we're going to have to counter. Don't want them gaining 13 life. Resolves. So with the card that I think they have in hand, they're probably going to attack with the Howler here. And we can't block because it would kill our Scob. So we'll just let that happen. Although maybe they're considering trying to save it for defense on the Sharpshooter, but they don't know we have their tap. Again, thinking long and hard here. Okay, I don't know why they would attack with a 0/5. Okay, they're trying to train it here. Okay, so it's a 1/6 that can go up to 3 power. Based on what I think they have in hand. Maybe it can go up to 4 power if they have another Witch's Web, which still doesn't kill our Scob. And this one, same thing. So if we block here and block here, this can only go up to 3/3. Maybe that could go to a 4/4, and because of the presence of Witch's Web, I think I'm going to go ahead and not block the insect. Although I'm 99% sure it's the +2/+2 card. But it's so bad for us if it's not. So we're just going to go ahead and block like this. Pass the damage, take 1. So we're going to go ahead and keep that tapped down. It doesn't have reach, does it? No. Okay, and we'll go ahead and loot away one of our swamps. So we drew another flyer, which is great news for us. And another flyer. Can we cast both? We can. Alright, so let's get in there. Are we at any threat? I guess we're at a threat of dying if they draw the uncommon. That gives these 13/13, but we can't play around that because they just haven't showed that they have it. We would need to double chump if that's the case, which would be awful, but can't really do much about it. So let's go ahead and get in there. This doesn't have reach. We're going to flip it back to day as well. Play our flyer, and then our other flyer. There's a chance they cast this combat trick end of turn just to get a blood token, but then they're out of cards in hand, so I really hope they don't draw their 4/4. Flips back to night. There it is. Okay, so goodness. If we go for it and they remove this, they still die. So they have to have a double removal spell to not die here. Because we're dead on the backswing if we tap out. Unfortunately. Yeah, okay. Maybe we're just overthinking it, but looks like we outlasted their butt beater by 1 turn there, so hopefully the rest of this draft goes a little quicker than that one. And that we don't end up with 2 losses or 2 wins for the 3rd day in a row. Decent little curve here. Removal spell, Butler to mill something, Doom to center for exploit fodder. I wonder if our deck wants to be drawing first. It's a distinct possibility. I mean, we're not very aggressive. We're just trying to get extra cards to get up to the late game and play flyers. So it's very possible. Drog Skull Infantry, doesn't line up great for our Gift of Fangs here, but let's go ahead. Which one do we want? Doom to Center or Undead Butler? I'm not sure it really matters. Let's go ahead and do the Butler in case we mill a creature that we can use to... Well, there's our exploit. There's our... Well, that's unfortunate. Would have loved to draw any of those. Now we're only down to, I think, 1 or 2 more exploit targets in our deck. So that's unfortunate. When it dies, we are able to get something back, though. So at least there's that. Do we want to chump to do that? Not yet. If we're going to chump with it, we can chump to block something with greater power than the infantry there. Okay, so they pass with nothing. Okay, see what they have. Go ahead and play the butler. This isn't a vampire, is it? Nope. Okay. Alright, I'll play Doom to Center, and I know this can come back to give something +2/+2, but I think for mana efficiency's sake and for being able to kill one of their creatures, we'll do this now. If they're sitting with removal in their hand, it's probably looking pretty bad here on this board, so at least there's that. Okay. Just drawing all the swamps that can't even have a second island for that. So are we willing to double block here? We lose both creatures. I could get back. I don't think we are willing to double block, but we're not attacking, so we'll see what they do. So this would leave us with a 2/2 that we could still exploit with the assistant to scry and draw, which is not bad. So there's a chance they have removal that blows this out, but I mean, I really don't see what these creatures are doing on the battlefield otherwise, so we'll just let them use that. It's not quite a 2-for-1 because we're getting value from both of these creatures when they die, so we will take action and we'll return. So we don't have an instant or sorcery we want to return right now, so for that reason we're just going to take the assistant. And if we draw a blue, we're only going to have... we will have 2 creatures in the yard. Oh my gosh, why do we have to draw so many dang swamps? Let's attack. Five mana. Are they just going to... Okay, sure. We don't get the value from the assistant anymore, but... let's just get on the board here. Don't feel like exploiting itself. Looks like they have at least another removal spell if they want it, and they don't. So Swamp being probably the worst draw on the deck. When it dies, deals 3 to any target. Oh my gosh. Looks like I called it, didn't I? So they're going to 2-for-1 us here, but I don't want to be taking 6 a turn, so let's go ahead and just kill that. At least we can start getting rid of these swamps now. No plays. Okay. Let's do one more. So we can still hold up Scattered Thoughts even if we don't draw an island here for the Scob. And there's the island. Can we draw the card? We can. So that looks to be the play. So with all this priority they've been getting, they could have a Braid. The instant speed, unconditional kill spells that I can think of cost double black. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they have something. Okay. There it is. Valorous Stance. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go ahead and exile this and this. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all of our swaps, I think. All right. We have drawn 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lands so far. So there's only 5 left in our whole deck. So let's play that, which doesn't have great blocks, but that's all we have. They look to be a little bit out of ammo here. I say as they play a 2/3 flying haste, so sure, if we don't really draw our way out of this, they're just going to be gaining an unattainable amount of life for them going forward here, so we need to kind of find something with Scattered Thoughts. Well, at least we're putting 2 islands in the bin. So we literally have... Wow. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 2 lands out of our last 14 cards here. So that's nice. Let's hope they don't remove the Witness, because if they do, I think this one might be over. They are getting priority here, which means they likely have some sort of instant speed removal, which is unfortunate, but can't really do anything about that. We'll go ahead and keep these swamps in hands because we will get a blood token if they try to play another creature. Thinking long and hard about letting this one resolve. Okay, so they do. But I have a feeling it might be dying here. There's the Abrade we thought they might have. So we're going to be taking 4, 5, 6, 7 now. And then, yeah. Still can't really afford to block with the Spirit, so... Go ahead and counter that, get our blood token, use our blood token, and pray we don't draw more lands. Okay, so this isn't a vampire, so we can make it into a 2/3, which has great blocks here, and then this swarm blocks their Walter very well. So this is a little bit of stabilization here, but we are down to 12 cards, and we need to find a way to deal 30 damage to them pretty soon. So let's go ahead... Give this -2/-2. And drop a 4/4 flyer. We do have other ways in our deck to make blood tokens, so we'll hold off on playing our last land. And let's hope they don't top deck their way out of it here. Let's see. So they can get rid of all cards in all graveyards, which might do something, but it does something when the swarm dies, because we can put that on the... Well, we can, in response, you pay 3 to put that second from the top. This technically does, as long as it stays in the graveyard, this does mean we can't deck. So, at least there's that. And we know we have almost nothing but gas left in our deck because of all these lands. So that's not so bad. Could mean a very, very long game if they don't have a way to exile this when we're tapped out. But we'll see. So they want to trade with our ancestor. They don't. And we do not want to exploit with the ghoul, but we'll go ahead and get on board with it. Still no attacks. So there are 22 cards, so Screaming Swarm isn't really a threat to mill them at any point. Alright, there's just about the last land in our deck. Let's see, 5, 6, so that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have one land in our last 10 cards here. So at least we'll be drawing good cards from here on out. Parasitic Grasp, okay. That'll be good if they go for any sort of combat trick, so we'll hold that up. Well, unfortunately, for this to make us not deck, we have to have a recurable way to make it die, which I don't think is going to be possible. So our plan of not milling out may not be the best here. So maybe they have an attack with a Celerant if they drew a trick, but it looks like they didn't. Okay. Go ahead and play the Bloodcaster here. If we remove the Waltzer with the Grasp, we can start attacking. I think we'll go ahead and plan to do that at the end of their turn, in case they draw anything here. Because we do need to start getting in there at some point. Some point soon, probably. Okay. Our 4/4 is the best blocker we have, unfortunately. But we need to start getting in there with that. So maybe we can start getting him with the Bloodcaster, at least for now. So let's see, is this a human? It's not a human. So we're going to have to cleave this to deal 3 and gain 3. Lantern Bearer. Okay. So let's go ahead and attack with the Bloodcaster. I think we still need to leave the Swarm back to block for now. We have 7 turns to deal 27 damage here. Or deck damage. Okay, so they're gonna crack that now, which is fine. I don't think there was anything in there that we really needed. Because the Swarm can get there and the Bearer can get there, and we needed those to stay there. And I don't know what this does, but this can't be good for us. Sacrifice another creature. Okay, so we're basically just dead next turn. That's nice. So we need Grizzly Ritual, which is in our exile. Sacrifice another creature or blood token. They drain us for 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they drain us for 8 right now. Okay. I guess we see if we can draw out of it. That certainly won't do it. So let's get in there. Now our out is that they don't see it. Alright, and just as we thought we were stabilizing, they drop a rare and we lose. Seems to be the theme of the week so far. So... Yep, so they untap, sacrifice their last 2 creatures, drain us for 4, and we lose. So, here we are, just losing to rares. So, I hope this video was at least informative in the fact that you might have learned how to build a blue-black deck that seemed to be functional, because every single game that we lost was to an unbeatable bomb. So, yeah, if anything, take from this of how to build what looks to be a seemingly functional deck. I like blue-black in this format, based on that. Played against a lot of blue decks. Blue seems to be one of the better colors in this format, so, yep. Looks like that'll do it for today's video. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow for your daily draft.